Hello, poker enthusiasts. Today we have an intriguing hand played by a student that we're going to review. Let's dive right into it. The preflop action is pretty standard. Our student finds themselves in the big blind holding ace-10 offsuit facing an under-the-gun open. Calling in the situation is not controversial, and we go to the flop where we check procedurally and the villain checks back. Moving on to the turn, an 8 pairs the board and creates a double flush possibility. The student suggests a bluff here, considering that the villain's under the gun range is likely tight and relatively strong, so ace-10 isn't winning much unimproved at showdown. I agree, since villain's range has condensed to hands like ace-jack, ace-queen, pocket sixes, and similar holdings. However, check isn't controversial, and I won't dwell on it because the river is where things get really interesting. This specific situation, a double delayed small pot, is crucial in my opinion because it's a spot where many players lack natural intuition on how to proceed. Moreover, these spots are often overlooked in studies as people tend to focus more on exciting lines. However, small pots occur frequently, and there are significant edges to be gained by handling them correctly. So let's talk about the river card. It's like an earthquake, dramatically altering the strength of each player's range and how those ranges interact. Before the river comes, both players' ranges have condensed around ace-high hands due to the turn and flop checks by both players. Consequently, top pair on the river becomes a powerful hand, considering the limited presence of trips or better in either player's range that would have bet before the river. Another important aspect to note is that kickers don't come into play on this board. If you have top pair, you're playing a pair of aces, a pair of eights with a king kicker on the board. It doesn't matter whether you have ace-queen or ace-2. This means that both players' ranges become highly polarized around having an ace or not. Taking both of these points into account, it's advisable to adopt a 33% bet or check strategy with this type of holding. We want to get calls from hands that are worse than top pair, such as pocket queens or pocket jacks. If we were to bet 75%, more of the villain's range would consist of top pair hands that we would end up chopping with. In other words, we don't want to bet so large that we only isolate the portion of villain's range that chops with us. Therefore, going smaller with our bet size makes a lot of sense in this situation. Here's the critical takeaway for today's hand. It's essential to avoid autopiloting and relying on default bet sizes like 75% or 50%. I challenge you to think critically and consider if going smaller or larger would be more appropriate in different scenarios. That wraps up our hand review for today. Small pots may not always seem glamorous, but mastering them can give you a significant advantage in your game. If you made it this far, you might be interested in personal coaching. You can check out criticalpoker.com for more details, or contact me directly at info@criticalpoker.com. or DM me at MNW on Discord. The spelling is in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Good luck at the tables.